to everyone joining and viewing this video today. My name is Toni-Blaze. I'm editor-in-chief of Wonderland magazine, and I'm joined by the amazing makeup artist, Mona Leanne. We are going to be talking about her journey on this Wonderland X BFC How to Become series. Thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, it's quite a weird time at the moment, so I just appreciate you sharing this time and space with me. How are you feeling during this time?
I've been well. How have you been?
I've been good. I've turned into like a IG live queen / queen, which has been keeping me very, very sane in terms of just being able to get ready and do these things. Tried to do an online short course, didn't really finish it. But, you know, it's all right. We're trying. How have you remained creative during this time as well?
I've actually done some courses too. Straight away, I enrolled myself in some special effects makeup courses because that's been on my to-do list literally for forever. So that's been really, really fun. And then filming a lot of content, which is something that usually gets put on the back burner too. So I've been keeping productive.
I feel like content is definitely key. Good to know that you've been doing better with regards to the short courses more than I have. I'm still getting the reminder emails for it. So I want to take it obviously back to the beginning and talk about, baby Mona Leanne. How was it growing up?
I had a really nice time growing up. I had a really lovely childhood, which I'm super grateful for. It was very artistic. My earliest memories was sitting drawing all of my toys. So I've been quite arty from the get-go.
In terms of just early makeup memories, being a child and stuff like that, what do you remember from that time?
I think my earliest makeup memory was, I don't remember what it was for, but we had some dress up day at school. Maybe it was World Book Day or something. And I went as a trapeze artist, and my mum put makeup on me for the very first time, mascara and blush, and I can still literally remember what it felt like to have it applied and how I felt when I looked in the mirror. It just felt really special, and that was my earliest memory, I think.
I love that. I feel like everyone's got that memory of being, or when it was if you went to school with uniform and you could have your no uniform day or something, and everyone would be texting each other, or I guess if you're older you were texting each other, but at the time your mum would dress you in your best, because it's, you can come to school wearing your own clothes and stuff like that. So I have a memory of that in terms of fashion and planning for at least a week, or actually the date in advance, and you'll be planning hey, I think I'm wearing these jeans with this top. And also fun to have those moments. And just in terms of just initial early references when you started out in makeup, who were your kind of inspirations?
Earliest, I remember poring over all of the makeup that Alex Box did for Illamasqua, because I was really into, before I just figured out that I wanted to be a makeup artist myself as a job, I was really into buying makeup and stuff like that. So I think it was through shopping at Illamasqua that I discovered who Alex Box was, because I was just who's doing all this amazing makeup for all the campaigns. So definitely that. And then when I looked more into kind of makeup, then I discovered people like Lee Bowery, and that just opened my eyes to a whole new world of what makeup could be. So that's kind of what started it all.
Yeah, I love those references. I remember also being, I think for maybe a split second, I was going to do a few makeup things when I used to work up a makeup counter when I was interning. But I do remember those early references of Illamasqua and Alex Box, and then they were just so next level at the time. McQueen also was definitely a good reference in makeup and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel I also enjoyed those images too. In terms of the process of studying at CSM and stuff like that, how do you kind of approach that process, and what advice would you kind of give to any students that want to play for art school?
Yeah, CSM, it was so amazing. I do look back on the whole experience now, and I'm so grateful for everything I learned, but it's really tough going there. And probably, I think when I was there, I didn't enjoy it so much, because it really is tough love. They don't hold back. You'll be told if it's not good enough, and I wasn't used to that so much. But it builds you a really thick skin, and that's so imperative for working in the fashion industry. So definitely, I guess my advice to any other students is just, stick with it. Don't take things too personally, take it all in your stride, and also just really embrace who you are, because that's kind of what CSM's all about. Is everyone in my class was so different. Everyone had their own style, literally in the way they dress, or their interests, or what they did for work, and they really love that. So yeah, that
is some lovely advice, because I agree 100%, because I went to CSM too, and it definitely is tough love. If you're gonna go and then they're gonna stroke your arm and tell you how it's gonna be okay, and you'll find the vibe, it's not like that at all. I think 100%. Go in and have self-awareness, be self-aware if you can, and just know that your voice is important, but just know that you need to have some thick skin when it comes to critique. And then once you kind of get into it, you just realize that it's an opinion, you know, everyone has different opinions anyway, and everything is subjective. What you like or what I like might not be the same, but you can always appreciate an opinion. But yeah, tough skin is 100% very, very important. How did you get into like assisting in the industry, and how did you approach that?
I actually lived with a makeup artist, so that was very useful. She'd been working in the industry a bit longer than me, so she was able to introduce me to some of her like signed makeup artist friends, and I assisted them. And so I kind of had that little like easy route in, and then they introduced me to other people, and that's kind of how I got started.
So everyone's story is completely different when it comes to assisting.
It is, yeah.
Getting that foot in the door. In terms of assisting, you have assisted some heavyweights in the industry, you know, Pat McGrath, Lucia Perioni. These are, you know, this is not some small fish. This is some big people. In terms of the difference, obviously the difference between the two artists, what did you learn from both experiences?
I mean, they were just like, it was the best experience ever. Like I learned so much. Obviously skills wise, a lot. They kind of train your eye to be like a hawk, like you just see things that you didn't see before, you know, details that you didn't see before. So that was really amazing. So I guess the main thing that I learned is that you can't ever stop learning, and you've always got so much more to learn, and you can learn different things from different people. I mean, when I left CSM, I was sort of against assisting. I was like, no, I don't need to assist. Like I've been there for 5 years, including my foundation and my placement year. So I was just like ready to work. And then, you know, people were like, no, you should assist. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. 'Cause to me, that was just like delaying the process. But actually, it was like one of the most important things that I did.
I agree 100%. I feel like with assisting, you can make your mistakes. And then at that time, if you feel like you haven't found your aesthetic or found your voice, that's a great time to find it, because you're seeing all these other artists work and you can know what you like and what you dislike from what they're doing as well, which is good. And, you know, anyone watching who wants to land like an amazing assistant role, what advice would you give them?
The first piece of advice actually is assist as many different people as you can first, because like you said, like there's so much to learn from everyone. Like even like, you know, 10 different makeup artists will do like a natural skin differently. So definitely assist as many different people as you can, and then you'll like find people that you kind of really, really want to work with. And then yeah, just absorb as much as you can, because there's just so much to gain from working with someone and learning from someone that's been in the industry for like 15, 20 years, you know. It gives you like a newfound respect for the industry for sure. And you're learning from someone that's already gone through all the do's and don'ts, so it's kind of
be persistent and try and assist.
You can like learn from all the different people around you. So even like Fashion Week, like when you're working on like massive teams, you know, some of the makeup assistants have been working for that key artist for 10 years also. So they're actually some of the most amazing makeup artists in the industry too. So don't just like put all your focus onto the key artists, like get to know like everyone around you, because that's further connections. And I've learned loads from those people just as much as the key artists. So.
In terms of aesthetics and describing aesthetic, how would you describe it?
I mean, I'm very drawn to colour. My work is very colourful. I think that just comes from my art background. I'm just drawn to colour naturally. And then I am a perfectionist, so I do love doing graphic work and line work and kind of really technical stuff. I just really enjoy the process of doing that. But as far as like labelling it, I don't know. I feel like my style is kind of still growing, and I do like to adapt it to different jobs. And I love like so much different makeup styles. So it's kind of, I don't want to box myself in as like, this is my thing. But yeah, I guess it's colourful and graphic.
I think that's what always draws me to your work as well. It's just, I just love colour. Like I'm such a sucker for colour. I just love it. So every time I see, you know, your work, like you said, you can't really describe it and put it in a box, but like colour is such a great word because it's just always so vibrant. So I do definitely love it as well. You know, when you're doing shoots and, you know, editorials and stuff, what's your process for like mood boards? Like how do you kind of approach that?
I mean, it depends on the job. I mean, I do have like I have saved the files and files and files of images. I always like save things that I like, and then I'll kind of start to go through those for referencing. But one thing that I've actually started to do recently is before I have a shoot where there's maybe like a bit more creative makeup, I'll find a picture of the model I'm going to be working on the shoot, and then I put their image into Photoshop. Sounds a bit weird. And then I start painting kind of over their face just to kind of sketch out some ideas of like what works with their features. And I kind of, that way, I'll spend a couple of hours doing loads of different things, and then ideas come to me through that too. So that works quite well. It's something that I've been enjoying recently.
I feel like that's such a good way to approach it, because I think people, you know, anyone that's younger watching that might not know about editorials and like an editorial day, there is a lot of pressure. I'm sure, you know, it doesn't even amount to the pressure that you have on shows and stuff, but even with editorial, there is still pressure, because it's like you could get there and have this idea that you haven't tried out. And, you know, you're so in love with it. And then when you do it, it's like, maybe we need to wipe this off and start again.
Exactly.
It's good to have that approach that you have, where it's like using other creative mediums like Photoshop and things like that and bringing it into your creative process. So it's definitely a good tip. I never really used to be like a pre-style sort of person to kind of go and have the fun and be like, oh my god, what shoe? And it's like, what, but now I'm really going into like pre-styling, and just it does definitely make the whole day and editorial run smoother. And
it does.
And do you remember your first editorial shoot?
I do, actually. I was thrown in the deep end. It was in Eastbourne. It was a location shoot in the depths of winter. It was snowing, and I was doing makeup on like a little bench by the sea. And so yeah, it was very cold and like hard conditions, but actually I still really loved the photos. Like they turned out really nice. It was all black and white, and the makeup was quite moody, and I think it was pretty nice for a first editorial.
Sounds like he was in the trenches, cold on a bed.
It was. You
know, people always see the finished product and they're like, oh, this looks so great, and they don't know that you like sometimes even being the hairstylist, getting hair out of the face while protecting your makeup. We're doing so many things. I love that little insight. And I'm glad that you still like the pictures. The difference between client work and editorial work. I mean, you've worked with an array of publications when you're doing ideas for editorial as opposed to when you're doing it for clients and stuff. I
guess the main difference is that when you're doing editorials, it's kind of like you have a lot more of your own input and you can really push your own ideas a bit more. And when you're doing something for a client, whilst it's important to kind of put your spin on it, like you want to do what they want, you know, because you're helping bring their creative vision alive rather than your own. So that's, I guess, the main difference. But I have been quite lucky actually with some of the clients that I've worked on for campaigns. I've been able to do some like really creative makeup. So that's really nice when you get to do a bit of both.
No, that is very lucky, because I feel like sometimes with clients they can book someone who, oh, we just love what you do, and then when you go and do what you do, they're like, could we kind of tone that down a little bit or make it a bit more? So it's nice to hear that, you know, you've been able to work with clients that just want you for your, you know, your work and what you're good at as well. You know, your body of work is just amazing. But do you have any favorite editorials when you look back?
It's really hard to choose, but I guess like one that definitely sticks out in my mind was for Sort Zine, which is a zine that's run by two of my really close friends. And we did this shoot with the photographer Derek Ridges, who obviously has so much amazing, like iconic, like 80s club photos. So we were kind of doing a modern day take on that. And it was a massive cast, about 20 people. And they put on an actual club night actually. And then everyone had like a massive look. And then it got shot during the club night. So that was definitely a very memorable one and really fun makeup wise. And then there was this other shoot that I did with the photographer Steph Wilson, who's also a good friend of mine. And it was just really beautiful. It was with horses and it was like just a really epic location shoot. And I love the imagery from those ones too.
I love that you actually had a club night.
Well, we kind of like, we shot everyone like individual throughout the day so that everyone had kind of good portraits, and then it kind of went on into a club night. So then you got sort of more messy club photos. It was fun.
In terms of juggling editorial and clients, how do you kind of juggle that?
You really do have to make time for both. It's very, very important. Like I kind of made the mistake actually when I was sort of earlier on in my career. All I wanted to do was shoot editorial. I just wanted to do all the fun, creative stuff. And so I had a bar job. That was kind of my like money work. So I'd work in the night and then I was available 7 days a week to just do as much editorial as I want. But then you get to the point where you're like, okay, I don't want to do this bar job anymore, but you don't really have like clients. So it's definitely really important to like make good time for both, and early in your career, like, you know, make those connections because it will help you when you want to become fully freelance basically. So yeah, it's important to juggle.
I think it's so important. I feel like everyone I've spoken to went through that like lovey-dovey phase of wanting to be like this creative against the machine.
Yeah.
Well, I actually need to make money as well.
Yeah. It's not just a hobby.
They wanted to be able to sleep at night and not be at the bar.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good one to know in terms of try and juggle both and be smart in terms of how many editorials you take a season, basing it on, you know, how many clients you have that season or campaigns or whatever projects you've got that's paying and stuff. Client wise, how do you deal with like a difficult client?
So I actually have this thing that I do, which is probably going to sound really weird, but if I'm ever in a really stressful situation, I always just imagine that I'm a rock in a fast running stream. So if you think of a rock in a fast flowing stream, the rock stays like still and then everything's just flowing past it. So I kind of imagine that I'm just still in the situation, I'm letting all the stress and like bad energy maybe like flow straight past me, because the most important thing about being in really stressful situations is that you can't let it get to you, especially when it's like on a job. You have to just remain cool, calm and collected. So that's kind of like my partner taught me that. It's like a analogy sort of thing that I imagine, and it does help to like keep yourself centered. So
centered like a rock.
yeah, literally.
No, I think it's so important to say that, because I think sometimes, you know, you have clients where, of course, you don't want someone to disrespect you, but not saying that, but sometimes you just have to kind of take it with a pinch of salt. Everyone is, you know, stressed, or they've got their boss also in their air, and then they're in your air as well. And, you know, if you be rock steady, like Mona said, and just be one and be zen with yourself.
Yeah. Because it's not personal. That's the other thing, is that sometimes it can be easy to like take it really personally, but it's not ever personal. So yeah, people are just stressed, and when you're on a client job, you know, it's your job also to like make them feel like happy. So,
and I want to just touch for any like freelance makeup artists that are watching this, that, you know, they want to score agency representation. What advice would you give in terms of looking for an agent and how to kind of navigate that whole situation?
Definitely like shop around, like meet as many different agents as you can, and keep your options like really open. It's like, don't get too fixated on like one agent, or even just about the agency thing, because the most important thing about getting an agent is that you find someone that's really, really right for you, and who really sees like your creative vision and who you are as an artist. So keep your options open and don't rush into it, because you don't want to go into somewhere that's not right for you. And then I guess my other piece of advice would be just make sure that you really, really know who you are as an artist, like what your style is, like what your work's about, because then you'll find someone that like agrees with that.
I think that's so true, and always just finding someone that has like your best interest at heart and sees your vision and sees the growth as well, and believes you can grow beyond this point that you're at this moment of time. Sure. I think once you do that, you'll be able to hopefully find someone that's like good for you and good for your brand and your work. Another advice question I had was, any, you know, budding makeup artists that are watching that maybe might be on a budget and want to build a kit, like what kind of essential things do you think they need in a kit right now?
Most important thing is to make sure that you have a good range of products to do an amazing base. So like foundations, concealers in every skin tone. Doesn't need to be anything super fancy, but just as long as you've got like good range of colour there and like some nice skincare, because there's no point doing any other makeup on all the creative stuff if you can't do a really, really nice base. And then I guess the second thing I would say is just try and find as many multi-use products. So products that you can use on the lips, cheeks and eyes. So like MAC Cosmetics, for example, do some really good palettes that are super bright colours, and they're just like grease paints, and you can use them literally for like full face paints or like lipstick, or so that way you kind of save a bit when you're trying, multi-use.
I'm doing a multi-use today. As you can see, I've got lip gloss in my eyes. But no, I think that's good advice, because even with kits for stylists, is always like making sure you have your basics, because that's also very multi-use in terms of toning down a look or creating a simple look that maybe you didn't know you had to create on set that day. So yeah, multi-use is a very good keyword that runs across styling and makeup, and I'm sure every single other medium. You know, London Fashion Week, this is for the British Fashion Council that we're on this platform, and Wonderland, we're doing this digital fashion week situation right now. I wanted to talk about any standout key moments that you feel like you've had in your career when it comes to London Fashion Week and creating looks. Do you have a favourite one?
For a show that I did for DB Burdan in London, and it was on the model Jamie Windust, and the whole show was about really embracing all of the models, like characters in real life. And so Jamie at the time was wearing this like amazing eyeshadow that would go right back into their temples. Blue, bright blue. So we did that, and then made everything else more colourful too. And then I painted this floral design like all over their head, and went kind of all around the ears and like down the neck. And it was really colourful and really beautiful, and it was really fun to create. And Jamie's so lovely to work with. They always do that show. So yeah, it was. I love that.
I love the way you describe it as well. Like, how long do you have for something like that?
I mean, to be like, that show actually was probably like the craziest one I've worked on too, because it was so much makeup. I mean, which was such an amazing thing for me, because, you know, some sometimes at Fashion Week you don't always get to do the creative stuff, so the designers were like, no, we want you to go all out. And so I was like, great. And then it was like we only had like 3 hours, and it was like a lot of models, and the hair was also bonkers, so it was tight, that show. And I think I had about 2 or 3 assistants helping me do that look on Jamie. So I mean, it was a whirlwind, but that's kind of like all part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what you kind of love about London Fashion Week, is just the adrenaline of it all, and like whether it's like you look within hours, or it's like running from show to show to show, and then like beating your best time and actually getting into the show and being on time. Like there's that kind of energy and adrenaline that makes it like super fun. I wanted to just also touch on some of my favorite work from you is all the work you do with Paulina Russo. Like she is such an incredible designer. I just love everything she does, and I think everything about it, down to like the make, it's just always so cohesive in terms of the makeup, the looks, and everything. Like, how did that journey, you know, getting into that brand and working with Paulina, how did that come about?
I can't exactly remember where we first met, but it was before she like finished her BA, and so she had me do her BA show, which was like super fun, and then I kind of worked with her ever since. And yeah, she's so amazing. Like her, she's such a talent, and she's such a lovely person too. I always love working with her, and our aesthetics just, I don't know, they align really well. Like her work is also like super colourful, and it's kind of got that sporty element, so it's kind of, we've always done like really graphic stuff, so it's kind of just worked, our aesthetics like work really well together. And yeah, I've created some of my favourite work with her, and it's like I just did her MA campaign, and it was, yeah, so much fun. I'm just so inspired by her clothes, so we always end up creating really nice work together.
No, I love that campaign. And also shout out to Aidan Zamiri, who might be who I love Aidan as well. Visible Hearts, because you know the work you guys do together is just, I just love it. When I see it on Instagram or whatever I see, I'm just like, oh, I just love it a lot. And I wanted to also just talk about one thing you love about London Fashion Week and one thing you miss about London Fashion Week.
I guess, I mean, the thing I love about it the most, I can actually, like, people think I'm crazy for saying this, but I've like had loads of moments where I'm like, I could do Fashion Week as a full-time job. Like, that's how much I love it.
That's crazy.
I literally love it. I think it's just the energy. Like there's this really like amazing, like tense, but like exciting energy. It reminds me of like, you know, when you're like cranking up a roller coaster, you're just about to drop. It's that like, I don't know, it's kind of addictive. So that's the thing I guess I love about it the most. And then, yeah, I mean, it's an amazing thing, you know, when you think like all these creatives just come together in this like big whirlwind and create all this amazingness for a 30-minute show, those things, I guess, and just
that connection, isn't it?
Yeah, the connection and the teamwork, because I'm working with other makeup artists. Like I love working with, like, I have so many amazing assistants that I work with, and that's one of my favorite parts of my job. So yeah, that I think.
Thinking to it is that you miss the kind of teamwork, the collaboration, or even if you're just like running to your next show and then you always bump into someone that you know, or someone you've worked with on a shoot or whatever it is. And even in that moment, you remember all the good times and all the good work you've done with them too. And I know that everyone's kind of has this, at first, you know, when we kind of went into this quarantine and just, I think obviously the world is shifting in how we process fashion, how we receive all these images and everything. And I know everyone was like, oh my God, like, fashion is going to be digital forever, and it's, you know, no more physical fashion shows, and digital and all these things might override it and stuff. What's your take in terms of the future of just like the fashion show, and also maybe just like the future of makeup as well?
The future of fashion shows, I mean, yeah, obviously there has been so much talk about it going digital, and I mean, definitely things are moving more digital, even like beauty wise. It's kind of like hard to ignore, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does go that way, but I like pray that there'll still be fashion because we know it, because it is just such a special time. I think there could be less of it. Maybe there will be less fashion weeks, like maybe like 2 main ones that's like men's and women's combined, which I don't think would be a bad thing, because it would mean like less traveling for everyone, and just, I mean, there was like, I don't know, I felt like Fashion Week was getting to like 8 times a year, which was kind of bonkers. But yeah, I hope that it does kind of remain sort of as we know, because I hold such like special place in my heart. But yeah, and then the beauty industry, I do see that going more digital. Like I can see, I mean, it is already. I didn't think that I was going to be like doing all this like digital content as a makeup artist when I decided that was part of, like, that's what I wanted to do for a job. But here we are, and it's quite nice actually, because it's good to move with the times and do things that you didn't think you were going to do. But I don't think the beauty industry is going anywhere, because I feel like more and more people are getting involved in it, whether it's for a job or just even in like free time, you know, as like a therapy or whatever. It's a lot of people find comfort in makeup, I think.
No, I agree. I think there's definitely, we're going through a reset, and it's not ever going to be normal again. It's just more like a major reset. And I do think, even when it comes to the beauty industry, I feel like it is just a shift that's happening in terms of like diversifying the industry, whether it's like the creators or whether it's like the models or the corporate structures. I think there's definitely going to be a shift that's going to be a trickle down to fashion and all these industries as well. So it's definitely like a very exciting time. And yeah, I don't think shows will go away forever. They just can't. Like, I do want the physical one, you know, people attend the shows, you go to the shows, you see the fabrics up close, like there's nothing like that experience at a show. The digital was great, and I've seen some really good things happening digitally from shows and stuff. Like, I know that brand Hanifa, I think she's based in the US, done some amazing digital stuff when it comes to digital shows and stuff like that. So I can see it creeping in, but I do think they will be able to like coexist together. Well, that's what we hope anyways. And do you have like a dream or editorial or brand or that you would love to work with in terms of beauty and makeup?
I mean, I don't like sit and fantasize about doing like certain people's makeup, but I do like sit and think about like, oh, wouldn't it just be so amazing to do like this kind of a job? Like, for example, like I love looking at all the makeup at the Met Gala, you know, because people go like all out there. So yeah. I mean, that would definitely be a dream job to like do someone for that has this like crazy idea. That would be so amazing. So yeah, for me, like that's what I get most excited about, is just when someone comes to me with a project that's, you know, quite a big idea and they want me to kind of execute it for them. That's sort of my dream scenario. And then obviously if it's for like a big music video or if it's with a big artist, then that's amazing. But it's not about like specific people so much. It's just I like working with all faces. I don't really have favorites. I don't like favor like certain models over different ones. I can do the same makeup on loads of different people. It doesn't make a difference to me, really.
I mean, I just love also when I start, I'll just work with so many different people and just being exposed to different people in general. But I do agree, the Met Gala, I haven't done that yet. And I'm hoping if it physically comes back next year, or if there's like a day, let's manifest it into this chat. Yeah. This is one thing where you can just see people just get so much creative freedom, and there's no, people just want to do the most, which is obviously what I have to do. So I definitely would want to do that too. I definitely think it would be such an amazing experience. But I agree, it's, when you're a creative, it goes beyond any moment when you can create something that can stand the test of time, or an image that you feel like people can reference. Like that's like the greatest feeling when you know, after a shoot and you feel like you just made like something really great. Yeah. There's like no feeling like that. So I know during this time, obviously makeup artists, hairstylists, even stylists will haven't been able to create in terms of going to physical shoots and, you know, be tactile and touch and do all these things. Now, you've been doing some epic social content, which is our favorite word. What's your approach to that when you're doing all these videos? And like, what other advice would you give to any makeup artists that kind of want to follow that strategy in terms of using different mediums?
Yeah, be patient with it and experiment with it. It was like not easy for me at the start. I remember like sitting down trying to do my first video and I just like could not get my words out. I just felt really silly. But like you find your rhythm in it, so definitely like give it a good chance, and it's really fun and you get a lot out of it, and it's good to sort of, you know, keep up to date and move with the time. So I always try and keep up with that kind of thing, and I do like advise other people to do that too, because yeah, it can't hurt to broaden your skills.
People that are in that kind of world, like, oh, it's so easy, and I'm like, I did one video and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I want to do another one for a couple of days, because this is a lot. You've been doing some like amazing stuff, and I know that definitely takes some time and effort. So it's just so great to see, and I do think it's a good medium to other artists to kind of watch and kind of get inspired by, and also create looks on every single social platform that they can. In terms of hopes for your career, what do you hope for your career in the future? I mean, I definitely hope that it's a long one, and I hope that it continues to make me as happy as it makes me now, because I genuinely love my job so much. I enjoy it. I really want to make an impact. I'd love to make an impact on the younger generation, because I've had some amazing mentors throughout my career, and it's definitely really shaped me as an artist and made me so much more of a better artist. So if I could be that for someone else, then that would be really special and make me feel very happy. Angelic. Angelic, like my background, but no, I think it's so true to be able to have all these experiences and learn from like some really amazing people, and then also now teach someone as well, which is so great. just kind of passing on your skills and what you know and what they shouldn't do as well, because obviously we've all experienced things you shouldn't do too. Yep, exactly. I've had such a great time speaking to you, Mona, and I'm going to continue doing some multi-use looks as well and all that jazz. But no, thank you so much for joining me on the BFC X Wonderland How to Become series. Toni-Blaze Beckware, Editor-in-Chief of Wonderland magazine, and I am signing out. And Mona, you've been gorgeous. Thank
you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, I'll speak to you later. See you later.
Bye.